Hey, what up, everybody? Antoine Fantoine here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is, and it's time for our favorite tracks of the week, where I tell you guys what my favorite tracks have been this past week. All of them are linked down there in the description, along with our Amazon Associates link. If you want to support this segment, hit up that link. If you live in the U.S., anything you buy on Amazon, we get kickback from it. Does not add to your overall price. Don't worry, it works. There's not some kind of crazy confirmation telling you that it worked. If you clicked on the link and you live in the U.S., it works. Just use it to buy some stuff you were going to buy anyway. Helps out the show, helps out the segment. Cool? Cool. All right, let's get into the tracks first. However, we have to mention the worst tracks of the week, where, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not kicking a living thing. It's a mat down there. I'm sorry. Worst tracks of the week. What were the worst tracks, the worst track of the week? There were a couple contenders. You know, some people were asking me if I wanted to put another Ghostbusters track on the worst track of the week, because there are some pretty terrible songs on that soundtrack. And quite controversial has been the new Desiigner single, Timmy Turner. But I don't think the single is that bad. It's certainly better than a lot of what was on his new tape, New English. It's actually a full-fledged song, not just some clip of a half-assed song or anything like that. Still, Desiigner is yet to really kind of craft his own sound or hop in his own lane, as the track sort of sounds like a combination between Future with like a Travis Scott beat or something. And I don't mind the track. I mean, Future and Travis Scott collaborating is pretty cool to my ears, and I think the beat, the song, the instrumental is pretty epic. So I don't hate the track. I don't think it's a terrible track, but it's certainly not one of my favorite tracks this week, you know, and certainly not the worst track of the week. However, the worst track of the week, it's got to go to, want to get the title here correctly. It has to go to, can't go to anyone else, Major Lazer, Cold Water, featuring Justin Bieber and Mo. This is essentially, another incredibly mediocre piece of dance hall on the market right now. Thanks to Drake, there's tons of awful, just run-of-the-mill dance hall kicking around the internet right now that sounds so ethereal, bad. I just can't get away from it. But if you want to actually listen to some dancehall that does not suck, I recommend Barrington Levy, Yellow Man, of course. You got to listen to some Yellow Man. One more suggestion, not just Inni Kamoze, check him out, and Lone Ranger and Ika Mouse. Okay, that's some classic dancehall there for you. Not the crappy, whitewashed, super clean, super pristine dancehall that you're hearing on the charts right now. That stuff is boring. That's better dancehall that I just suggested to you guys. All right, moving on. Let's get into the favorite tracks of the week. Ba-bam! They're all listed down there in the description. Again, so hit these links. Go listen to these tracks. I like them. Hope you like them too. We have Chris Farren with Say You Want Me. This is a solid piece of power pop right here. This guy's an up-and-comer. Just got signed. New album on the way. And if you like your hard or sort of alternative rock with some sweet melodies, some slightly heavy guitars, you're going to like this one. Also, new track from Screaming Females. Song is titled Skeleton, and this is a pretty scuzzy piece of punk rock on this one. I guess it's a B-side from the band, so kind of cool to hear that from them. This track certainly went harder than a lot of the cuts on their last record. I actually wish it made the cut on the album. We have a new track from Denzel Curry titled Today. It's sort of this auto-croon trap track. It's not one of his harder cuts, but some nice melodies on this cut. And I like how Denzel Curry can do a song like this, but it doesn't take away his edge. So definitely enjoying this cut. Moving on, we have a new track from A.G. Cook, PC Music Master. So if you've been following the whole PC music thing, you might have a guess as to what this new single already sounds like. And it's not a bad cut. Another good, sort of a chirpy pop tune from the PC music camp. We have Dabbla with Randeer. This is a bit of grime here, some very colorful, eccentric grime music coming out of the UK. A good single from him. Skrillex and Rick Ross, Purple Lamborghini. Not a bad cut from these guys. Typically not excited to hear a Skrillex track, not excited to hear a Rick Ross track, but when they come together, you get a supreme banger. So they didn't disappoint on this one. And for whatever reason, when I went into this thing, I somehow knew I was going to like it. Like, no way coming together that they would just put out a boring collaboration. You know, you'd figure with the crossover potential that Rick Ross would bring his best, Skrillex would bring his best, and both of them certainly did. So, you know, it's not heady or cerebral or, you know, something's going to get you scratching your chin or anything like that. It's just a crazy ass fucking banger. That's fun as hell. But something much darker here. Street Sects. Okay, this is a new artist that has a record coming out via Flenser Records, and this is a dirty, filthy, disgusting, sort of gothic piece of industrial noise rock. Okay, this thing is nasty as hell. I love how abrasive it is. This is deadly. If the rest of the album is just as head-crushing and as ear-searing, might be one of my favorite records of the year. And we're going to finish off with Butler, who did a cover of a Suicide track in tribute to Allan Vega of the synth punk duo Suicide, who recently passed away. So RIP to Allan Vega. And Butler does a fantastic cover of Dream Baby Dream from Suicide. And that's it, guys. Those are the favorite tracks of the week. Check them all out. They're all linked down there in the description, as I said, along with the Amazon Associates link. Hit that and buy something. We get kickback from it again. And yeah. So let me know what some of your favorite tracks this week have been. What'd you think of that new Desiigner cut, Timmy Turner? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what'd you think of the rest of these cuts over here? Cool. You're the best. Talk to you later. Bye.